up to. We're moving on, and Deputy Majority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Marking says he's hopeful ongoing engagement with the Central MP Kennedy Ayapong could spare him an appearance before Parliament's Privileges Committee. Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagwing on Tuesday referred the MP to the committee over threat he made on the life of Labour firm Sir Erastus Asare-Donkor. Speaking on the floor, Mr. Afenyo-Marking said the majority side has engaged Mr. Ayapong and he is cooperating.
The committee did not receive the referral from Right Honourable Speaker in respect of Mr. Suhini's motion, so that is why there is no such thing on the business statement. But I need to emphasize here, Mr. Speaker, that our colleague has been engaged extensively, Honourable Kennedy Ayapong, on this matter, and I have received very positive responses from him, and I have no doubt on my mind that I have no doubt on my mind that steps will be taken to deal with the matter appropriately so that there wouldn't be the need to even go into that long haul of, So, Mr. Speaker, I just needed to assure the House of these steps that have been taken by the leadership of the majority. We want to work together, and the media is not an enemy. We are not enemies to ourselves. Sometimes we slip. What is important is for us to take steps to remedy or resolve when these things happen. We are all human.
But NDC MP for Norton, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, says the move is out of place. He says the minority side rejects any such plan to settle the issue outside the remit of the committee.
The Right Honourable Speaker has referred the petition from Honourable Alhaji Suhini Alhassan to the Privileges Committee, and that is the resolution of this House. We are being told today, that is the status, the decision of the Speaker, the ruling of the Speaker. Then the Deputy Majority Leader, who we know is a long-time counsel and lawyer of the Honourable Kennedy Ayapong, is telling us today that, let's prepare for some out-of-court settlement of a sort, or out of Privileges Committee settlement. I mean, under what standing orders is the Deputy Majority Leader giving us this announcement or serving this notice to the House? I mean, please, if you want to plead for your client, come properly and go and do that at the committee. But don't say that, we would not have to go through that long. Who has complained about the process? We are ready to go through the length of that duration. And let's be careful we don't create the impression that some MPs, when the Speaker has referred, they are above that referral. He must go there and ensure that the decision of this House and the decision of Mr. Speaker is respected. So please, as for that, your notice, we reject it. We don't know how it is grounded.
Right, and joining us right now is Parliamentary Correspondent Joseph Opoku-Gakpo. Joseph, so do you have any idea what these engagements that the Deputy Majority Leader is talking about is? He says leadership is engaging the Asin Central MP. What could they be engaging about?
So this is what we've gathered on the corridors of Parliament, that apparently on the side of the majority, there's a conversation ongoing with Mr. Kennedy Ayapong for him to go back and use the same medium that he used to attack our good colleague Erastus Asare-Donkor and called for his beating, and apologize for it and withdraw those words that he actually used. And so from what we're gathering, the majority side are having that conversation with him. And contrary to what we heard on radio yesterday, the claim is that he's kind of cooperating in that conversation that's trying to get him to kind of apologize. So then the hope is that eventually when he apologizes and withdraws the comments using the same media on which he launched the attack, then it would be a basis to then come back to Parliament and say the matter has been resolved to a certain extent. He's apologized. There is no need to continue dragging it. So that's the reference from what we gather as far as what the Deputy Leader put on the floor of the House is concerned. It's a conversation behind the scene to try to get him to apologize for the comment.
Now, whilst this conversation is taking place, we're also aware that the Asin Central MP has made some fresh remarks. Has that also come up or come to the attention of these MPs?
It's not been raised, at least on the floor of the House yet. And it's not been brought to the Speaker's attention yet. Obviously, until that process unfolds where someone again, and that's very possible, it can be done, because the last time Mr. Ayapong was before the Privileges Committee about 2 years ago, just when that case was ongoing, a second case was brought against him, and that second case in connection with Ahmed Twali was referred, just that it was never dealt with. So if any MP finds it worrying enough to draw the Speaker's attention to that as well, and that also gets referred separately, it could be dealt with separately. And the second window through which it could be used, even in trying to deal with this first case, would be for someone to draw the committee's attention when they are doing their real hearings, that even after he made that comment, he's gone ahead and virtually escalated the claims, which will then be a basis for a witness to say he deserves any sanctions that may be thrown at him. So those are the two windows based on this latest one could possibly be brought to the attention of the Privileges Committee.
Now, do we have any idea when the Privileges Committee is going to start sitting?
Not yet. I'm told the first Deputy Speaker, who is also the chairman of the Committee on Privileges, is unavailable currently. When the referral was being done, he wasn't around. On Wednesday, he's not been around all week. From what the deputy leader told us, a scheduled meeting of the committee, which would be an inception meeting to agree on the modalities with which they would work, is not likely to come off next week. And meanwhile, Parliament will be taking a break, most likely from the first week of August. In just about 2 to 3 weeks, they will be going on break. So looks like the timelines are closing in very quickly. It's not looking very likely they'll deal with it before they go for their break in early August, which would have them be away up until sometime middle of September, which is quite a long time away from now.
All right. Thank you very much, Joseph Opoku Gakpo, our parliamentary correspondent.